Hi everyone, masofdas here. So a little bit of an odd video, and I'm actually doing a longer video than normal because I've been doing lots of shorts. They do really good for me and in terms of views and likes and stuff like that. No, it's not all about that, but obviously if you do some content here and you get like 3 or 4 views, it's not great and stuff like that. But I feel this works better for what I want to talk about. And as the title of the video is, I have bought an Xbox 360 in 2026. This is my first Xbox 360 since 2012, so 14 years ago. I traded in my 360 towards my Wii U. I still got my Wii U from that time, so I've had my Wii U for 14 years. And I traded that in instead of the PS3 at the time and stuff like that because I wasn't really using my 360. Xbox were going in different directions, especially around the 2010 mark. It was TV, which obviously saw with the Xbox One. There was less exclusives. I wasn't keen on some of them as well, and you had obviously the Connect and stuff, which is funny when we get to later off in this video and stuff like that. And I started actually buying my third-party games like Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite, Dishonored on the PS3. They started to run better and stuff like that. So my 360 didn't really get much use. That's last couple of years why again it got traded in towards the Wii U at the time. And then since then, I've never really thought about getting a 360 again. Even though I used it a lot during that generation. You can go look at my gamer score, masofdas, same as here. I played nearly all my third-party games at the time on that until the later couple of years, like I said, like maybe like post 2010 where I started playing more on PS3 then. But then if I think about those third party games and stuff like that, I think of like Bioshock, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto 5, let's say. Those games have like been remastered or ported or playable anywhere else. So it's like, I want to go play Bioshock. I can go buy the PS4 version. It's playable on PS5 via backwards compatibility thing. I can go buy Red Dead Redemption on Switch 2, I believe, and stuff like that. So that's that. And then on the first party, again, this might annoy some people. I don't think it's that great when looking back of that. It's like I don't get the same, like with PS3. I got a pretty decent PS3 collection. It's like I think of things like Killzone, Infamous, Folklore, stuff I can still only get there. It's one of why I've got like 80 plus PS3 games and stuff like that, and the Ratchet games. When I think of the Xbox games, I think of obviously Gears and Halo, which had fun out of the time. But again, they've been like remastered. Gears of War, the first one, we've had 2 remasters, one on the Xbox One and then obviously the newer one, which is I've owned physical on PS5. So it's never like really a lot that's like, oh, I want to get a 360. These are all the games like can play on it, can't play anywhere else. Like I said, if I use the PS3 as an example, you have the Ratchet games stuck on there, you have the Infamous games stuck on there, you have the Killzone games, stuff like that. Same with the Wii, some stuff has been ported like Skyward Sword and Xenoblade, but obviously using the Wiimote and things like that, not everything has, and stuff like that. It's like the 360, it's like, what is here, what I can't get in here. And I remember a few years ago now, I was actually looking, this is why I'm saying about this, I was looking at the 360 library and I got to a list about like 20 games that I couldn't really play anywhere else. This is mostly when I still had a Series X. I don't anymore. I play my Xbox games on PC now for the Xbox launcher and stuff like that, or you know, if it's a third party title, pick up on PS5 or preferably Switch 2 going forward as well with the whole digital thing with PlayStation sort of thing. I was like, oh, what can't I get and stuff like that, and it's like there was only like 20 odd titles. And then obviously with all the PlayStation news, and this is like the whole point of this video, it's like physical games going away in, you know, after 2027. How it reads, I don't know if we are going to get an odd game in January 2028, or it means like December 31st of 2027 is the cut off, no more after that, which I'm not keen on. Obviously, like I said, Nintendo's still got physical games. That's where I plan to buy most of my games. There's going to be a few exceptions, like Onimusha 2 coming up. It is on Switch 2. It is 30 frames on Switch 2. I want that game in 60 frames, so I'm still going to buy it physical on PS5. But then I look at Resident Evil Veronica. If it's the same as Resident Evil Requiem, that will have a 60 frames mode on the Switch 2. I will buy it on Switch 2 and just have the lower resolution and not buy it on PlayStation, sort of thing. So it's like here and there, and we all know what the games are like and things like that. And they're going a little bit off topic, sort of thing. But I was like, I'm pretty down on this non-physical thing. Xbox, there's loads of different rumours and stuff, like we might have this disc to digital thing where you put a disc in the Series X and then you can transfer it to a digital license, and then you can actually play it on your Helix, your PC, or your ROG Ally. And there's rumours they might have a disc drive on Helix, but again, they're only talking about disc to digital, not new titles. Let's say Resident Evil. Well, that will be next year, Resident Evil Veronica, so that would still be on PS5. Let's say Resident Evil 10 in 2028. We seem to get Resident Evil games like that. I would think we're not getting a physical on Xbox either. They're like 91% digital already, and like I said, all the rumours seem to be talking about disc to digital, not new titles coming to Xbox. So I could take an assumption we're not getting new PlayStation games on PS5, PS6, not getting new Helix games, maybe Xbox One games, maybe that's the way around it. You know, Resident Evil 10 is an Xbox One version, and you can transfer the disc to digital there, and then obviously because you've done that and it's your license, you can play the Helix version, a bit like Smart Delivery and stuff like that, because there's going to be loads of cross-gen games for quite a few years, considering I don't think that many people will upgrade to the new consoles because they're going to be expensive. You've just seen the price increase of the Series S and X in the UK and stuff like that, and obviously games cost a fortune to make, so the companies are going to, especially like I said, they use a Capcom, they're not going to make a game PS6 exclusive, or or that gen exclusive, still on Helix, because it would cost hundreds of millions of pounds to make. They'll want to get their money back, so it's going to be cross-gen for a while. So maybe you do get the Xbox Series X physical of a game, and then you can disc to digital. Maybe that's the weird way around it, sort of thing. So it got me thinking. All this stuff, like I said, Nintendo's still hopefully physical games and that. It's like, I was looking at my game collection, and like I've got like 100 plus GameCube games. There's more GameCube games I would like, but you don't see them that often. And then like some of the bigger hitters are pretty expensive, like Kirby Riders and stuff like that. Like my Dreamcast collection, I'm only missing like 6 games from a complete European set. Again, I could buy American games, buy Japanese games, but you don't see them in the wild. And then like I said, my PS3 collection's like 80 odd, my Wii's like, I don't know, 20, 30, 3DS is like 30 games, Vita's like 150 games or something. So they're all pretty decent sized collections of like the retro thing. And I don't really want to go out my way to buy games. Like I said, I could go on eBay, go buy a load of Japanese Dreamcast games or something. But all my collection has come organically, seeing in game shops, or used to do the markets and that. Like I buy a Dreamcast, I have 10 games with it. I would not own 3 of them. I would keep those 3, build up my collection, sell it, stuff like that. But it's all come organically. My collection pretty much from local game shops and stuff like that. It's why I'm also missing those like 6 Dreamcast games, because you don't see Cannon Spike in the wild, to be honest. But I haven't gone out on my way to buy a Dreamcast game yet, and I'm not planning to now, and plus it's pretty expensive, sort of thing. So it got me thinking, as a collector and wanting to collect games and physical games going forward, if I'm only buying new games on Switch 2, obviously I could buy the PS4 games. There's going to be stuff I would have missed on PS5, like I'm not buying Marvel Token. Maybe in 2028 I've not played Marvel Token, I see it in a game shop for 20 quid or something, I pick it up, play it. So that sort of thing got me thinking. It's like, okay, what consoles don't I own? What are not that expensive to play? Got me thinking, like, you got the Master System, but there's a little bit for me. I started with the Mega Drive and stuff like that. Like, you don't see the games that often. You got the N64. The N64 is great, but the games are really expensive on it. You do see the games quite often, and that led me to the Xbox 360 again. Like, the console's not that expensive, the games aren't that expensive. So again, I was like, I've got like 20 games I want for it. So I had another look on the library. I used CEX for this. It's not 100% accurate because I was trying to find other lists, but they were coming up with weird European games and the digital Xbox Live Arcade games which you can't buy anymore. So I tried to use the CEX list of what's actually on there, what I could buy, and stuff like that. One, like the most expensive games, like 40 quid I won, and I managed to actually make a list of 100 games. Surprisingly, now some of them are on PlayStation, and some I actually own digital, but I would like physical. But I got things like Armored Core 4 and 5, and there's a few others. Beautiful Katamari, Chrome Hands from Software. And then I was looking at like the Connect stuff. You got Disney Fantasia. I hear that's really good. I've never actually played Connect, so much as I was at the start of this talk saying like, Connect, Xbox is going a different way. I'm looking at Connect as Connect Adventures and Wii Sports rip-offs and stuff like that. But I hear really good things about Disney Fantasia. I got Eternal Snap on my list, Forza Horizon, King of the Fighters, Lost Odyssey, Metal Gear Solid, 99 Nights. That's one of the more expensive ones, especially the sequel. That's like 40 quid. And Resonance of Fate, Rise of Nightmares, the Silent Hill games, Star Ocean, Steel Battalion again on Connect, the Transformer games, Viva Pinata, Witcher 2, Zone of the Enders. So I actually managed to make a list of 100. I think I got to a list of like 70 odd, and then I just built it out to 100 by putting on like every Naruto game. But I only really want Broken Bond and Rise of Ninja. But if I'm buying those two, I might as well get the rest. So I have a list of 100 Xbox 360 games I want. I have bought a 360. I bought one on eBay, hasn't arrived. Whole thing, I've done case sort of thing, so hopefully I get my refund on that. But I traded a few bits in CEX, and weirdly I bought a box one, but it was discounted one. It wasn't boxed because the boxes got damaged, so saying it was unboxed, and then it wasn't an unboxed one, it was a discounted one because it's got a silver controller, not a black controller. So I've got a better controller because it's also the one with the twisty D-pad. I think it's like a Halo Reach one, but it hasn't got any Halo markings, but I think that's what it is, or very similar to. And it's got a box, but it's apparently discounted one, but that's great. And I have picked up a few games and stuff. I've picked up a Kinect sensor. That was £1. A Kinect sensor is £1 in 2026. I don't need the power supply because I got a Slim. And then I've bought a Forza Horizon 2. I've bought Child of Eden. Again, that used to connect. Command and Conquer 3, Tiberium Wars, the Gunstringer, which is connecting, and Telfos Vesperia, which obviously is JRPG, and on my list is all very, very Japanese list. And obviously I have my account from years, and obviously Xbox, and all linked. It's a bit of a pain. I was going through the download list, it was really slow trying to find things, and there is things, and this is the whole thing with digital games and that comes up with like, this content is no longer available. Some of them I did click on, it did pop up, one was like Saints Row, but then I have other ones to click on, and it's errors and stuff like that. It's like, this content is now gone. What was that content? I don't know. And, it's now lost in time, but I was going through that, and I have downloaded like a bunch of things like Forza Horizon 1, Lost Odyssey, Vanquish, which isn't on my list, but seeing I owned it, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Alice Madness Returns. Like Alice and Forza, I still want the physical, and that's like the whole point of buying a build. A nice physical collection of Xbox 360 games. Some that I have not played, like I said, a lot of Japanese stuff, more unusual things I can't get elsewhere. Maybe there'll be things beyond the 100 games and sort of thing. But like the comedy titles like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, I'm not that bothered about. Sort of thing. Even like the PlayStation 3 or PS4, I'm not bothered about. And like I said, there's a lot of ports and things like that. If I did really want to play a Bioshock, so I've now got a 360 in 2026. It's really slow. The online, apparently, to EF Gizmo was saying something like to do with the Wi-Fi. I actually plugged it with the Ethernet, and it's much faster than I had to run a cable through the house, but I did that, and it's much quicker downloading stuff. When it does play, once you have got a game, I installed the games for the disc, which you can install, so you're not loading off the disc. It is slow to like loading times. It's like the jump from like 360 to like PS5 now with SSDs and stuff like that. It's slow. But playing Forza Horizon 1, which I had my cloud save, it was just there. So I must have played it on something. I can't remember what I played it off. I can't even remember buying it. I must have bought it when it was cheap and before it was getting delisted, because it has been delisted. And now I have my cloud save, continued on the game. It actually looks pretty decent. Like, the jump is obviously like the cars still look pretty good. It's like the world and environment is much like you can't go off road. Like the bollards on like the highway are like, they don't fall over or anything like that. You're trapped on the road. You can't go off road. And then like the fields that are just like barren fields, where now Forza Horizon 6 you can drive anywhere, and all the different mud physics and all that for the weather, like all that is missing, and there's no weather or anything like that. It's just sunny. I think it's Colorado, and that, but it's like still fun to race and that. The cars look really good. I'm having a good time, and the game I think I'm actually going to play first, like I want to try the Connect stuff. Like I said, I've never really dabbled with Connect. Gunstringer I've picked, Child of Indian I've picked. Like I said on my list, I got like Steel Battalion, Devantation. None of like the more like I say jumping aroundy sort of sports games like Connect Adventures, but the ones like that's what I want to do. But it's like, I don't know, more video gamey ones and stuff like that. Like Fantasian's supposed to be pretty good, and like Steel Battalion, you're going to be controlling a big robot and like pretending you're piloting it and stuff like that. So stuff I want to try. But the game I'm most probably going to sit down and play properly, apart from Forza Horizon, which I've actually played quite a bit of already, is Lost Odyssey. I'm a big fan of JRPGs. A lot of my Xbox list has got Japanese stuff on it. I have never played Lost Odyssey, which I think is a bit of a crime for fan of JRPGs. Now, there is a lot of them coming out. I just bought Xenoblade Switch 2 Edition physical, not started that yet. Final Fantasy 14's just come to Switch 2, which I really want to try. Beast of Reincarnation's out today, which isn't a JRPG, but still an RPG, if you know what I mean, and it's still pretty long, sort of thing. So don't know when I'll exactly get to it, and that is one of the things, like, I don't actually know when I'm getting to these games. But again, it's like more of the whole collecting thing. I want physical media. Like, I'm even looking maybe at picking up a HD DVD player for this 360 sort of thing. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one for me. I know Dave Gizmo did sort of similar. He picked up a PS2. I think he already had a 360. So yeah, we've done our weird normal stuff of buying consoles when we're not happy about something. But yeah, I've been masofdas. This has been obviously a bit of a rambling sort of video, but I hope you liked it and stuff like that, and I'll see you again.